Hey everybody, welcome to the Legacy Universe. My name is Ash.
And my name is John.
And today we are going to be discussing this week's movie, which is Enola Holmes. This is a great film. We're very excited to talk about it today. And I'm going to give you guys the basics of everything. I have my little notes here with everything that we're going to be talking about for this film. It was directed by Harry Bradbeer, and it stars Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill, Sam Claflin, Helena Bonham Carter. And it is based on the Enola Holmes mystery detective novels written by Nancy Springer, specifically the case of the missing Marquess. We love this film. There really is nothing bad to say about it. It's like a minor thing that might have bothered us that we're going to get into towards the end of the video. But we're just going to give you guys a quick and fun review. No spoilers at all, so you guys can definitely go check this film out in Netflix. It came out on Wednesday, so let's just get right to it. I want to start with the performances. I want to say that the cast in this movie is fantastic. Everybody is great. Specifically, I have to give it to Millie Bobby Brown. She is spectacular as Enola Holmes. I think it was really fun to see her in something different rather than Stranger Things, because she does a great job in Stranger Things. But then, you always say with that thought of like, I would like to see them do something else, something different.
Yeah, it's like Tom Holland.
Yeah, it felt like Tom Holland. It felt like last week and this week I was actually getting something that I wanted, which was to see these two performers in different roles, you know.
The misconception of people is that because they're actually stuck on one thing, and truly is not stuck. It's just their brain is working because like that because you only have seen him on one thing or two things. Remember, guys, projects, they can probably film 3, 4, 5 different projects the same year, but post-production can take a longer time depending on the circumstances. Enola, it's fantastic. Honestly, I enjoyed it so much, and the fact that, like you said, I think she I don't know. This is the first time that we actually see her in her native tongue.
We have to give it to her. She had a great performance in this film. Also, Sam Claflin was really good in this film. He played Mycroft, right? Am I saying it right?
Mycroft. Yeah.
Mycroft. He is one of Enola's brothers, along with Sherlock Holmes, and this guy was
she was annoyed.
I was annoyed with him. I didn't like him, but he did his job
in a good way, because the annoyment is pretty much given because the character actually does its job. And Mycroft, I know more about Sherlock than Ash does, and I know Mycroft is to be this egocentric. Well, Sherlock is also sometimes egocentric, but he's more centered in terms of a little, I don't know. They're portrayed sometimes differently in terms of Sherlock. He still has his wits, his smarts, his the detectiveness of it. But Mycroft has always been the controlling type. Like, it's gotta be my way because I do know what's right.
I've seen like the Sherlock Holmes things on and off. I haven't really sat down and paid attention. So technically, this was my first experience with the character of Sherlock Holmes and Enola Holmes in this case, who is the main character. Even though I've known the character for years, and
you should watch Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock Holmes.
Definitely going to.
Yes.
This brings me to also Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes. I thought he was great, and I really liked his chemistry with Enola, and with Millie Bobby Brown and with Sam. I think they all had a great chemistry, and you could definitely feel that like tug of pull of like the brother-sister relationship.
Their chemistry was great. I didn't have a problem with it, and I seriously see the type of relationship for what it is, because this is a very different type of relationship between brother and sister and brother and brother. Because again, in this particular story, you could see that, again, if anybody knows about Sherlock, the family actually was kind of apart but together. So it pretty much is, we grew apart in terms of, we went our own paths, but when we need each other, we're there. this one had its way because they added another character, which was Enola. And this relationship was actually pretty great because Enola and Mycroft, they knew they were brothers. That the chemistry was felt and always and all that. But the chemistry between them, it's more of, I am the big brother. I am the man of the house. It literally is his house. And you will listen to me. I'm your ward. Mm-hmm. Like, he's in control of her life. And he's his guardian, her guardian and protector. Mm-hmm. So he has this elevated guardian, ego, father type of personality at that moment, where you could tell they're like, oh my gosh.
And it's not in the best way, because the thing about his character was that his mindset was so into like, oh, women have their place, they need to marry, they need to have children, they need to be a lady. And the cool thing about Enola is that she is completely different from what they're expecting during the times that this film was depicted. And that's something that I really loved about her character.
Yeah.
And what her mother, who's played by Helena Bonham Carter, did with her.
Another fantastic actress.
She was fantastic as well. Like, the thing about Helena Bonham Carter's character was that she's seen through the film, through memories that Enola has of her training, of her childhood. And that was something that I really liked as well, that they paralleled that really well with like a current situation
with the reality. Learning, the upbringings and the teachings of her mother with the certain situations that actually happened, because she wasn't raised as a normal lady in those times. Added to that, Sherlock Holmes, again played by Henry Cavill, fantastic. I like this iteration. He's more in control. He's not crazy. He's just more in control of his emotions, unless, he was developed to become this man that he is now. And every iteration has its own way of being. Version. They've all been different, but the same at the same time, which is great.
Yeah.
And I know that Henry Cavill actually brought something to this character, this iteration, and he was more...
He was more of like the calm.
Yeah, he was
composed.
Calm,
Sherlock
composed.
Holmes.
Yes, and built Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
He was big.
So the story of this film, we found it to be very entertaining and interactive. That was something that was really cool, because every time Enola had like a clue that her mother left, or a clue that she was finding in the newspaper, the movie would show it in like a fun way. And it wasn't like, because I know that some movies tend to do this, but it tends to be like unnecessary exposition, or like people feel bored, or like people feel like they're being treated like they're not understanding the film. Right. This was not the case in this film. I actually had a lot of fun with how they depicted the clues, and even when she would like open the newspaper and read about an event that happened, and then you would see it depicted on the screen.
So the plot pretty much is, as we see in the trailers, it's about Enola trying to find her mother. Her mother actually just disappears all of a sudden, and we follow Enola through this entire journey. In this journey, she gets to meet a boy. His name is Tewksbury. In the train, he's actually hiding, but we get to figure out the point of why his hiding is. They try and escape certain situations where, he gets to the point to annoy Enola, but we come to see that the chemistry actually starts building up, and it actually was very heartwarming, and it was great between them both. But it is very entertaining, and the way that Enola actually has this touch like Sherlock always had with other people, as we see in other movies, but in this particular one, because we see the side of a woman finally in a Sherlock side, in a Holmes way, it actually is different and heartwarming, and you can tell how the point of view of a woman in this time in London is treated, and how they're treated with society, and that's why it made it more interesting, where you could feel for her even more. It really is that it depends on you how you feel about these things, but it was strong, it was felt, it was true. Even the twists were a little bit surprising. It was like, oh wait, what?
There's a twist in this movie that's really, really, really good, and I think that's what I like about these detective kind of films, that they make you think it's somebody, but then in the end it's like a twist that you may see or may not see coming if you're like putting all of the puzzles together. And this actually brings me to discuss the pace of this film. It actually has a great pace.
Yeah.
And what I loved, what we loved about this film...
How dare you?
How dare I?
What we loved about this film was the fact that even though it gets to a point where there are two events occurring, the film balances it out very nicely. So you do get the initial plot, which is to find Enola's mother. Then you have another plot mixed in with the boy, and then at the end it comes back and ties it again beautifully with Enola's mother. And it doesn't feel like one storyline was less developed than the other one. It actually matched out perfectly, and it made for a good pace in the film, even though this film is actually 2 hours.
Yes, it is true. It ties up into what the film is, and it also comes back to her upbringing, like how her mother raised her. So this is why this film works pretty well, because it doesn't leave anything thrown away, like, oh, this happened, but it stayed in the 10 minutes that it happened.
Another thing that I want to get into to discuss with you is the messages of this film. This film has great messages about finding your own path, the roles that women have in the world or in society, and then how you can find your own path versus what society deems what is right. I feel that this film carried out the messages really well without it being in your face, because the problem nowadays that I feel with films is that they're trying to bring a message that they think will resonate with people, but then they overdo it, so then people are just like, I hated this film because it was like woman empowerment and like awesomeness and blah blah blah. And honestly, this is a film that I feel that a lot of young girls can sit down and watch and feel inspired by Enola Holmes and the messages that it brings, along with her relationships and with, like we mentioned before, Millie Bobby Brown's performance. So I thought it was carried out super well, honestly.
Yeah, it's a thing where even anybody, not just women, like boys, young adults, men, can't compare to the situation. Whether it is you being Enola, or whether it is you being Sherlock, or the other guy, whichever one it is that you feel more close to. Everybody teaches something in this film, especially the Enola situations. But it really speaks in general. Like, it's more close to the chest for women, because this is a main character is the women, and there are certain things happening in the movie that directly centers women's purpose and rights. And again, this is not a complete over-the-top women empowerment movie at all. It is just, it has a great message within the time that it's needed. I'm gonna give one example, and this is so perfect because Ash is like this. Before, women always, but I mean always, had to wear high heels. Like 90% of the time. Now, women are more comfortable wearing sneakers like 90% of the time. And
which
even going to work, you can wear sneakers. It doesn't freaking matter. Now, imagine just that small bit that I gave you in Enola Holmes.
I think that anybody that feels that same way can find a piece of themselves in the character of Enola. The last thing that we want to mention that was a highlight for us was the stunts.
Oh!
The stunts were very, very, very well executed in this film. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They were great, man. Specifically in this scene with Linthorn, who he's like kind of this guy who is looking for
he's the henchman.
He's like the henchman. Yeah, he's looking for the boy that's with Enola in the train that we see the scene in the trailers, and the stunts that were shown at the end with him and with the grandmother, which we're not going to talk about that scene because it's pretty awesome. We want you guys to see it.
The grandmother's just a nice lady.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's a very nice character.
Lady. A nice lady.
The shots were taken in a way where it looked, now I'm not so sure, but it looked like Millie actually...
She pulled the majority of the stunts.
And again, the stunts look great because it doesn't look like they're stunts. They actually trained very well. I think she wanted to be so engaged in this and be all out that there's funny moments where you can tell that the character, you know, is still learning on how to do certain things.
Yeah.
And if she fails at them,
that was fun to see.
You know, but it was an evolution moment where, and you know, throughout the movie you see how she's also picking up on certain things. The way that I jump back to this, the way they developed the way of the mother raising Enola was key to how this entire movie evolves.
Yeah. We want to talk about a little miss that we saw in this film. It's very, very minor, but I do have to talk about the fact that the way that they portrayed Enola's character, she talks to the audience a lot in this film. The thing is that it got to a point, and there were certain scenes, I think towards the beginning of this film, where it felt like it wasn't needed. It was a really minor thing.
But it was like a Deadpool type of thing for those who can't.
Yeah. So she breaks the fourth wall.
There's certain ways that she actually tries to pull you in the plot, pull you in her thoughts, not honestly into... Yeah, she kind of pulls you into the thoughts. Yeah. She's not more like Deadpool, where Deadpool actually pulls you into the live situation. And when she's in a certain situation with other people, you see other people don't move. But she talks to you like she's speaking to her conscience. Like, we are her conscience. But, she confides in you.
That's why we're saying that this is like a very minor miss.
It's only a small moment.
It's like this.
It's like a few 10 minutes.
Yeah. It was a specific scene where she was doing it way too much.
Yeah. I was lying back and here is where I think it's too much now.
Yeah.
And after I said that,
the film started to pick up.
Dimmed down the way that she did, and it just went right to where it's supposed to be.
Honestly, we loved this film. We loved the pace, the characters, the costumes were amazing. London looks amazing in this film. And I was actually doing research, and there's actually 5 other parts to this detective series. So I'm just saying,
them all, honestly.
Netflix, you should get on it and give us a sequel, because when the movie ended, I was like, I want a sequel.
Yeah,
we want a sequel. I think it would be awesome to continue to see Enola Holmes on the screen, to see what else she does. This movie is great, you guys. It's on Netflix right now. I think it's number 2 in the US right now. Definitely, if you guys have Netflix, I would recommend this film. Check it out. You're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be interactive. You're gonna love the performances, and you're gonna love Millie Bobby Brown. I know she has a lot of fans, so if you guys are a fan of Millie Bobby Brown, definitely check this film out. She's also a producer, so I think she did a great job with this film. That's gonna be all that we have for you guys.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video. Remember that we are que yo loca, me fui en un viaje de reload pensando que estábamos en reload. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video. Remember, if you did see Enola, please leave a comment below what you think about the film. If you agree with us, if you disagree with us, why, if there's any particular reason. But, you know, ultimately, we did enjoy the film.
I forgot to mention, but we actually have a trailer reaction on our channel. To this, which was really funny because it was our first ever trailer reaction, and we were so excited that we did not hear the many times that Enola says in the trailer that Sherlock and Mycroft are my brothers. So people were having a ball with us. So definitely, I'm gonna link it somewhere, so you guys can check it out.
Definitely. It says our excitement actually blocks our processing chip over here. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next discussion or next video, whatever video we get. So bye bye.